All right, guys, welcome again to our orientation. This is going to be an interactive orientation, so make sure that you are fully attentive and also make sure that you're in a quiet space. So I'm Angela Wilkins, and we're going to walk through the process of setting up two apps, and the two apps are going to be MetaTrader 4 as well as RealRise app. So as you can see on the screen right now, I already have MetaTrader 4 up. Once it's downloaded on your phone, that's great. The next step you're seeing right now, an example from an iPhone. So on an Android phone, it may look a little bit different. So when you're looking at MetaTrader 4, the Android phones is going to have something like manage accounts. You're to tap manage accounts and go from there. Should be a broker that pops up. And then at the top right corner, there's going to be a drop down menu for you to either open a demo account or either start a new account. What you want to do is actually go into, on the iPhone, the settings area. So you're going to go to the settings area as we are right now. We're on settings and you'll see the broker in the middle of the screen with your name. The next thing that you're going to see underneath there is new account. We're going to go there today. And it says open a demo account or log into an existing account. Same thing that the Android phone should have. So right now we're going to go into open a demo account. We tap there. If this is your first time on this area, for the servers, you may not have any of the brokers that I have on my screen. But today, for the sake of the example, we're just going to type in Hugo's Way or either just HUG, and it's going to populate Hugo's Way Demo 3. So when we select Demo 3, you're going to see either your first and last name, or it may see iPhone or Android or something else. You want to make sure this information is correct. You want to make sure also that your phone number is correct and your email is correct. And then at the bottom portion, it says account type. You're going to leave it at Hugo's Way. You're going to leave your leverage for 1 to 500. And for your deposit amount, that's your choice. If you want to do a $3,000 account, $10,000 account, or a $100,000 account, or another number that we have here listed. I will say, for the sake of, people doing really, really good in their trading account, I want to say, the starting point that I recommend is going to be a $10,000 account, because here at RealRise, we can actually help you get funded very, very quickly using our services. So we're going to choose the $10,000 account. And here, I'm going to go ahead and select register. We don't have to memorize the credentials. Why? Because it is set up for it to go right to your email. So anytime you're looking for your MT4 demo account, you can look through your email address, and then the same thing for your live account. All those credentials, if you have the right information on hand, they'll be able to send you right to your email. So we hit done. And for the sake of this example, there's also two different ways that you can view the MetaTrader 4. You can view it on simple side, or you can view it on the advanced side. And so advanced side, of course, as you go through the academy, you're going to be able to learn, what a spread is. And you're going to be able to learn, how this side is actually, what it actually means with all these numbers and different things. For the sake of the example today, we want to keep it very basic and simple. So I'm going to go to the left menu at the top corner of the simple side. And what I'm doing is basically erasing everything off my screen or deleting everything that I don't need, just so I can clear out all the extra noise. And so as you can see, I have one pair up here. And this particular pair is AUD USD. But right now, I'm going to actually rotate back from two different apps. So I have the RealRise and we have MetaTrader 4. So we're on MetaTrader 4. What I'm doing now is going over to RealRise app so that I can get the information that I need to go through the next steps. All right, so this trade came through on the RealRise app. Making sure, guys, that when you're actually getting these notifications, you want to make sure that your settings on your phone actually receives them. So you want to make sure that you're not on mute, you're not on do not disturb. Those things will actually hinder the process for you seeing the different alerts on your phone. If you do happen to have, the 9 to 5 and you can't have, your phone on you, I would say like this, or can't have the sound on, just put it on mute, and then of course, or silent. And then you can go, maybe go to the restroom really quick and just put these different trades in, because this is nothing you have to babysit. Once you give it the information that it needs, a take profit and a stop loss, it's simply going to play out on its own, because you told it, hey, this is how much money I'm willing to gain inside of this trade. and this is how much money I'm willing to lose inside of the trade. So we're going to take a look at the first one that's up here, even though for the sake of the example, this one is already invalid. As we can see, the notes have already played out. But if we scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the different other like statuses about the trade. So on this other one right here, it's XAU USD, which is gold. It says this is a closed trade and it lost. We know that it would have gained 20 pips because it's plus 20 pips if it had played out right, but it didn't. And we know in trading, you know, we're going to be a risk taker. Risk taking, whatever you trade, you know, you're willing to risk. The other thing that I'm seeing right here is the GBP pair, GBP AUD. And that trade actually closed in a win. So we have a few of them that have closed in wins. So we're going to go right back up to the last one that they've given us, which says active invalid. And for active invalid, let's see here. We're going to go back to this trade right here. And we're going to find the pair that we need. So the pair that we need is going to be out of the indices folder. And this is going to be a NAS 100. So we're going to just click on the plus symbol for NAS 100. Now we see that on the screen on our MetaTrader 4. So it gave us some instructions inside of RealRise. So what we're going to do is go back to the RealRise app and just open it up. So I just clicked on it to open it up. And basically what it's giving me is, here's the information. It's NAS 100 is the pair. That's very important for us to know and understand which pair we're using. The next thing that's very important is the type that this pair is. So they're saying that it's going into a sell. Sell also represents that we're looking at a market execution. So if it had buy right here and it said buy or either sell, we know that we're on market execution, which is a default for our MetaTrader 4 setting. The next thing that I'm looking for that's very important is going to be where it says stop loss and pips. So it says 920 for the stop loss pips. Also, it gives us the information for entry. It gives us the information for the stop loss, and it gives us information for take profit. Now I see that this information right here also gives us 3 take profits. So sometimes people are wondering, how, you know, which one do I take? I'll be honest. Look, when I first started this, I didn't know what I was doing. So I saw a few of them. So I started putting all of them in. That's not the correct way for a newbie to do it. You just want to stick in the safe zone. Safe zone, I'll say, is the take profit 1, because just like a bus ride, which is going to get you to your destination faster, which is going to most likely get you there without having a busted tire, right? Without having an accident, somebody riding in the wrong lane. So I say take profit 1 because of those reasons. It just sounds more logical to do take profit 1. Take profit 2 can get to that particular destination, may take a little bit longer, may have some bumps and bruises, or, you know, it goes into profit, then it plays out where it goes down a roller coaster in the opposite direction. We know it's an emotional roller coaster when it comes to trading. Take profit 3, it may never even get there. It may come all the way back down. So to stay in the safe zone, I say take profit 1 is going to be best for everybody that's new. So when we're looking at the information that we have here, we're still not just going to run off into MetaTrader 4. Why? Because there's something that I really like on the RealRise app, that instead of me, like in my previous company, I had to actually pull up an Excel sheet and kind of say, okay, I'm going to put in my account. Let's say I'm going to start an account for $200. So I put that at the top and then it calculates everything for me. Instead of having to go to all these external places, the RealRise app actually gives you on this little menu, the top left corner, you can see at the very bottom, it says lot size calculator. You want to go there. And so remember, we're starting an account for the sake of this example. And the most that I recommend is the $10,000 account. So pretty much the account balance amount will go at the top, which is $10,000. You never risk any more than 1% on any trade. So that is what that is. And then where we saw stop loss and pips, remember, it said 920. And we're not doing a currency pair this time. So we're going to change that. And it says indices. And we're going to calculate. And so right here, if I'm looking at about the 920 area in stop loss pips, then I would just do a 0.01. They're keeping us real safe here, guys. And so this takes the guesswork out of everything. You don't have to fumble and fiddle and go to an Excel sheet externally. It's all inside of your same RealRise app. So now since we have that information, I know I'm going to be using a 0.01 for this particular trade. So I go back to the information, which is the trade idea, and I open it up. We're on NAS 100. And now I'm going to go ahead and copy my take profit one. And remember, this is already played out, or it ended up calling it as an invalid. So basically, this is just to show you an example of how everything looks. So now we're back on MetaTrader 4. We're going to select trade. If you're on an Android phone, remember it's going to read a little different. So it says new order. Those are the same. And then basically you're going to see the pair again at the very top. You're also going to see where it says market execution, which is the default for on MetaTrader 4 for your trading process. In the middle of the screen, you have these white numbers right here. We're going to change that to what it told us, 0.01. And that's how we stay, properly managing our risk. Now on an Android phone, you may have a white line in the middle of your screen. That's represented as your lot size. For your stop loss area, it's not going to say stop loss for the Android users. It's going to have a red line. So we have to symbolize it by colors on the Android phone. And then for the green thin line on the right-hand side, you're going to notice that that's for your take profit. But on the iPhone, it gives it to you straight. It says in the middle, market execution. It has the white numbers that represent your lot size. And then it says stop loss and take profit. So I've already copied what they've given me inside of the RealRise app. So now I'm just going to paste it down. So remember, you don't want to use the numbers that populate for you. You want to use what the app is giving you. So I put that number in there just by copying and pasting. Now I'm going back to RealRise app and I'm going to get my stop loss, because on a market execution order, you only need 2 pieces of information to input. So we're not going to use the stop loss that it's given us. We're going to paste down what the app has told us to do. And it told us that it was a sell. So we're going to click there. And now this is how it looks when we're inside of a trade. So every trade is going to start off looking like it's negative, because a lot of times we're conditioned, blood is red. We stop at the stoplight, it's red, stop signs red. So it tells us, something's wrong. Oh my goodness, it's red. Every single trade, it doesn't matter if you had $1 million in your account, everything's going to start off in negative red. And so we just have to be willing to trust the process that it's going to eventually go into the right direction like it is right now. And so you can see it just calculating back and forth. But do we stare at the charts all day long? Absolutely not. This is the new way to trade. We don't have to look at 6 or 7 computer screens and stay in a room all day. We're, going about our life, working our 9 to 5, going to the gym, taking care of our kids. We're living life. We're on the beach somewhere. You told the trade, this is how much I'm willing to gain with the take profit. And you told it how much you're willing to risk if it happens to go in the wrong direction with your stop loss. So now you can live your life. And so now the trade is going, we're just going to focus on other things. And so that is one trade that we just put in. And so we don't have to babysit and watch it. The next trade right here, it says also invalid, but again, we're doing this for practice reasons. So now it's going to be a little bit tricky, but not too much. So I'm going to show you that this one right here, when I open it up, it says XAU USD. And right here, it also says active invalid, but remember, we're doing this for educational purposes. But this is what I want you to notice. It says right here for the type, it says buy limit. So where do I get that from? Oh my goodness. And so now the stop loss and pip says 29. And of course it gives me my entry. It gives me my stop loss, and it gives me take profit 1, 2, 3, and even 4. And so what we're going to do is go back to MetaTrader 4. When I pull up MetaTrader 4, I'm going to go back to my quote screen, and I'm going to find inside of where metals are, my XAU USD. So I'm adding that to my quote screen. Once I have it in here, then now I can go back to RealRise, and it tells me buy limit. So in this case, go back to your MetaTrader 4 and get everything set up first. So we hit trade or we hit new order, depending on what type of phone you have. So how do I find a buy limit? And so underneath where it says XAU USD, we're seeing where it says market execution. You're going to tap there. And now you have 4 other different options. And so this is where it comes to, you know, the education inside of Real Rise, because you understand that the default trading is market execution. And that means you're jumping into the market at the time that that trade is called. For these other orders right here, it says buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, and sell stop. Those are considered pending orders. That means that you see that it could potentially be a good setup, and you're setting it up. And let's say, again, we're going to work, we're going to church, we're going to, you know, the gym. We set it for a future time. So that means that it didn't enter you into the trade when you put the information in. What it did was it waited till it got to a certain point, and then it's automatically going to start because you set it like almost like a timer, if that makes sense. And so because we saw that it said buy limit, we're going to select buy limit. We're going to go back to the Real Rise app. And this time you need 3 pieces of information. So they've given it to you. They've given you entry. And sometimes the entry is going to be represented on your MetaTrader 4 as price. So we're going to copy it. Oops. We're going to copy and paste that down, the information that they've given us. We're also going to go here to stop loss. We're going to copy that. And we're going to paste down what they've given us. Go back to Real Rise again. We're taking take profit 1. And remember, we're just trying to stay in the safe zone. Just make a few pips because this market is big. I mean, $6.6 trillion a day. You know, if you just get a few pennies on a dollar, you're in the good. I remember the time I took a trade, it was the US 30, which is the top 30 stock companies. And with that particular trade, I was in there and I scalped it about 3 times, actually 4 times. 4th time was a bad time. But the first 3 times I ended up in less than 30 minutes, 1750. I have never had any job of mine that have produced 1750 in less than, 30 minutes. And so I don't know why I was so greedy to go back in for a 4th time, but it did me in. Lost $400 just like that. So as you can see, money can come fast with this process, and it also can go fast with this process. But if you're managing your risk, you're definitely going to do well. So right here, we want to remember that the stop loss and pips, we want to make sure that we're putting the right lot size for this particular pair. So we're going to go back. It's at 29 to our calculator, and we're going to know how much lot size we need. So for this one, we're going to do 29. And this one is actually, it's not an indice and it's not a currency pair, but I'm just going to put currency pair under leverage myself because they don't have it specifically where it says metals. So in that case, just under leverage, you'll still be in proper risk management, and go to the number 29 or close to it. And we see that we can do a 0.33 on this one. And then if I wanted to, let's see right here, let's go to indice. And with that 29 or near to it, it gave me basically the same thing. So 0.33. Now, even if it does do those different, lot sizes, as long as you don't go over that lot size, you're fine. So let's say, for instance, you didn't want to do 0.33 and you want to do maybe 0.23 or 0.13. You're under leveraging yourself. So you're still in the good standing. So for the sake of the example, we're just going to place. And this is how it looks when you have a pending order. So what the pending order did, you see right here with the last trade we just took was NAS 100. And we put the correct lot size in 0.01. And look how it's going negative. Us staring like this all day, that will have us, in shambles like, oh my goodness, my money is going. But you're not losing it until the trade actually closes out in a loss. This one right here is an order that I sent, which is that pending order that we just did for XAU USD. And it's just sitting there. It's not doing anything because remember, it has to get to a certain point before it actually takes off like the one we're seeing right now. So does anyone have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Anything you want me to go back over? You guys can unmute.
I'm gonna wait to the end of the session. I did have one question, but I'll wait. I'm following pretty good.
Okay, awesome. What about you, Teron?
Yeah, I'm following really good. Actually, it's actually easy. I mean,
okay, awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Awesome. All right. So what I'm gonna do? Let me see if I can pull up here a chart and kind of see if we can get into an actual trade that's current. Let's see, trading view. Okay, let me share the screen after I find the chart. Okay, this should be the charts. Okay, let's find up here. Then we want to work. Let's see here. Let's do another indice or index, as they call it. Let's put it here. Let's put it in US 30. Okay, so the chart that I'm actually on right now. So this part right here, guys, you're pretty much going to learn inside of the academy. We do the different London session, New York session. So if it looks a little funny with the part, I've been doing this for about 5 years now. Still learning, not a pro yet, but I know enough to actually get myself, into trades. So I'm on a 15-minute chart, and I would just look at this. Again, this is US 30. Top 30 stock companies. I would look at several different time frames before actually analyzing and jumping into the market. So right now I'm on 15-minute. I'm going to jump up to the 30-minute just to get an idea of where the trend of the market is, and then go ahead and make my lines. So my support and my resistance lines and things like that. So I'm trying to get a good analysis of what direction this thing is going. Look like it's going into a buy. Just from looking at that. Make sure though. Okay, so that's the day chart right here. So I'm gonna go back down to my 15-minute. This is where I actually will work from right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put my lines for my support and resistance and then go from there. So horizontal line, that's what I need up here. That line, and then I also need another horizontal for the low point. Okay. So current price is up here. And I'm just gonna find some more lines on here that actually have points that I'm looking to get into. So the market came about here. Let's see. Another point there. And let's do about one more line. Maybe support here. And about there. So now I'm just checking my different time frames to see where this particular trade kind of locks up so I can know if it's going in a buy or sell direction. I would say overall, since I'm looking at the different charts, I'm gonna go for the buy, just because if I put my trend line here on the 15-minute, let's do that trend. You can see here, it's black, but anyways, you can see once I change the color of it. Okay, I don't know why it won't let me change the color, but they've changed a lot on this. But as you can see with my mouse moving, I went to this bottom here and I'm going up in this direction here. So that, what is that? That's showing me that the market is going up, right? It's at that slant where it looks like it's going up. So right now I'm gonna go on my MetaTrader 4. I'm gonna find the pair, and the pair is US 30. So we're gonna go back into the NDC folder and go to my charts. I'm gonna do a market execution. And the number that I'm seeing that I want is this line right here. So that says 33,232. And then the stop loss area that I want to choose is going to be the one on this bottom here. So that's 32,581 and buy. So I'm in the trade right now. And let me go ahead and stop the share because I want you guys to see the screen. Let me go back to that. Screen, broadcast. Okay, you should be able to see the screen. So I'm on that US 30 trade that I just put in. And I just used the same 0.33 just so that you guys can see the different numbers. So as you learn how to actually do this, then basically you'll start seeing, you know, money's going to profit from your own analysis. And you see the US 30 moves pretty quick. So it can move quick in the wrong direction. It can move quick in the right direction. But I just showed you guys that analysis so that you guys can see how fast US 30 moves. And that is one of my favorite pairs, US 30 and also NAS 100. So any questions from that? We're at 360, well, actually 347, 363. It's fluctuating back and forth, 380. And I just did that analysis on my own. So again, I'm not a pro. It's just that, you know, you just use the tools that they've taught you. So even if it didn't hit the take profit, that's another thing I want to teach you guys. If you want to close out and you see it at a good point, oh, $528, let me snap my money. And so right here, I made that 527 just like that. And I just put that in. You saw it. Just saw me analyze it on my own and just saw me put that in. And before it even hit the take profit, because I know how the market moves, if I wanted to, I could take my money. I don't have to wait till it hits take profit one. If it's at a good point, I'm just going to take small little chunks. All right. So any questions? Any questions? Anyone can unmute. So you guys can see, you can actually, you know, take your own trades even on that $10,000 account. So instead of just waiting for a trade to come through real rise, it's great, you know, to wait for it. As kind of like a bicycle, you know, you get on the bicycle with training wheels. Eventually you take the training wheels off, or you still, you know, use it to assist you. And so pretty much that's how I am, because some days I may not feel like analyzing the market. And so at least I know I have extra traders, you know, that's inside of my pocket because of what I paid for, that can actually give me the analysis part without me having to do the hard work. All right, so it looks like you guys are good to go. That basically is it for the moving from back and forth from the app. If you guys want to, we can take a look at the website. And the website is where, let me show here, let's go. It looks a little bit different on the website. So let's go through that. Okay, right here. So I'm on the website, and pretty much it's still new. So they're doing, you know, a lot of updates and things like that. But we have right here the home feature, your profile where you can put your photo and things up there, your contacts. So if you're sharing an opportunity with other people, of course, you'll have, you know, a list of people right through this area. Your links. So let's say, for instance, you want to share the opportunity with someone. You have your different links. They're actually on the right-hand side over here where it says referral links. And then you have the links inside of here that you can also share, and it gives you a glimpse of how it even looks. So you got your webinar link that you can send to people. And then you also have the corporate site. So most likely the one we're going to be sharing, if we're sharing the opportunity, is the corporate site. The same pretty basic look that you know, from the site that you signed up on. And then of course you got your money, your tools, training, and academy, and everything right now, even though it says training and academy here, it pretty much is all going to be on the app that we already are making use of. So the one that's on your smartphone, that's what you're going to make use of, because if you go here, it's just going to say download it on your Android or either your Apple Store. So that is basically the you know, the gist of how to actually navigate everything, and just to continue to keep practicing every single day. So every single day, you know, you can use your demo account, you know, just to practice. Let's say, for instance, you've been on the trainings and things, You're like, okay, let me go ahead and set up my chart and let me see if I can go ahead and see if this is a buy or sell. And so you do those things inside of your demo account. Don't ever, just like, oh, I think I got it. I think I got it. And then you go for your live account. We don't want that to happen. We want to make sure everything you do in demo is your practice account. If you want to see how a $5,000 account does, or you want to see how a $500,000 account can do, test it in demos, test the lot size in demo. And then, if you're getting better and better with it, you'll see your history. And then you'll know if you're ready or not to move on to your live account doing that kind of analysis. So that is basically it. We will be doing another training on Thursday as well. So Thursday, my husband, he'll definitely get the link sent out to you guys. And the faster you get your, information for your funded account, the faster that account can be working and active for you. Because it takes about 10 days, the bot is going to trade. It's going to do what it needs to do. And that particular trading that's done, it's going to be done, let's say about 10 days. Once it's done, then your live account will be ready. And now you can start using the real rise trades that come through as the alerts. So make sure your notifications are on. So any questions now?